Good morning children, welcome back to your chemistry class. So in the chapter of polymers, we have already studied what are polymers, the different terms that we had to use, then the classification of the polymers we have done. Today let me tell you what are the factors that affect the properties of the polymers. Okay, factors affecting the properties of a polymer. So the factors could be like the molecular mass and the degree of polymerization. That is the biggest factor that affects the properties of a polymer. Okay, so molecular mass and degree of polymerization. Then the second factor could be the intermolecular forces of attraction. We had already studied about them. Intermolecular forces of attraction, and then even the shape of the polymer molecule affects the properties of the polymer. Shape of the polymer molecule. Okay, this is all what we need to know because in detail we have already studied about them during the classification. Now today we are going to do some commercially important polymers. Okay, so and we are going to learn about their preparation and their uses. Okay, so some commercially important polymers. So for the first one, let us do the addition polymers. Okay. In addition polymers, we can divide it into two parts. That is the polyolefins, right? And the second polyhaloolefins. Right? Now coming to polyolefins. What are polyolefins? Some of the examples of polyolefins could be like one could be your polythene, then polypropylene, polypropylene, which is also called as PP. Okay, then polystyrene. Okay, about these three we have to study under the heading of polyolefins, and under the heading of polyhaloolefins we need to study about Teflon. Okay, even the PVC. This is what we have to study under polyhaloolefins, right? So let us begin now with some commercially important polymers. Addition polymers. So to begin with, the first one, as I told you, we are going to study about polythene. Okay, which is also called as polyethylene, right? How is it prepared? We need to study the preparation and the uses of certain polymers which are important, which are in your syllabus. Okay, so this is prepared by addition polymerization of the ethene, right? But there are two methods for its preparation. First one is, let me write this, by addition polymerization of ethene. Correct? So it can be done by two ways, as I told you. Firstly, by polymerization at high pressure. Polymerization at high pressure. So over here, when ethene or ethylene, that is CH2 double bond CH2, it is polymerized at high pressure. What is the high pressure? 1000 to 5000 atmosphere, right? What temperature? 520 Kelvin. Basis of amount of oxygen, that is O2. This acts as a free radical initiator, and what do we get? We get polythene of low density, right? We get the polythene of low density. Is this point clear? And the second one is polymerization at low pressure. So when this ethene, when it is polymerized at 6 to 7 atmosphere, right? What is the temperature? 333 Kelvin to 343 Kelvin, right? And what is the catalyst used over here? Ziegler-Natta catalyst is used over here. We obtain a polythene which possesses linear molecules with low branching, and it has high density. CH2, CH2 in polythene of high density. So remember, polymerization at low pressure is going to give you polythene of high density, and polymerization of high pressure is going to give you polythene of low density. Okay, so what are the properties and uses now? Properties and uses over here. Low density polythene. It is chemically inert, tough, flexible. It is a poor conductor of electricity, and generally it is used for packing the films or the molded toys, or also used for the insulation of the wires. Okay, so this is chemically inert. It is tough, but it is flexible and is poor conductor of heat, right? What is it used for? It is used in making packing films or molded toys, or even for the insulation of wires, etc. Okay, this was about low density polythene. Let's talk about high density polythene. High density polythene, they are also chemically inert a stiff, harder, and have tensile strength. Right? What are they used for? Used for making household wares, then the toys, right? The bottles, containers, etc. So I hope everything about polythene is understood. Okay, how are they made? They are prepared by polymerization of ethene. It can happen at either high pressure or low pressure. Then the type of polythene which is obtained from high pressure or low pressure, what are the different properties and what are the different uses have been written over here. Let's talk about polypropylene, which is also called as PP. Okay, this is the second addition polymer I am talking about. So let us understand how it is prepared. Propylene, CH double bond CH2, which is also called as propene 1. What? At high temperature under high pressure in the presence of Ziegler-Natta catalyst. Right? And what does it form? It forms this is called as polypropylene, also termed as PP. Polypropylene PP. Okay, let's talk about its properties. It has high tensile strength, then it is resistant to acids and to the alkalis also. Then as a packing material for textiles, for food, etc. How is PP formed? It is prepared when propene 1 or propylene at high pressure, high temperature under the catalyst Ziegler-Natta prepares polypropylene. This has a high tensile strength that it is resistant to acids and alkalis as well. And where are they used? As a packing material for the textiles and the food. Okay. Then the third one we come to, that is polystyrene. This is also called as styrone, and this is prepared by the free radical addition polymerization of styrene. N number of styrene, okay, at high temperature and high pressure. And what is the catalyst used over here? Ziegler-Natta catalyst used over here. High pressure, high temperature under the catalyst, it forms polystyrene. Here, what is this called as? Polystyrene, right? Then let's talk about The properties of it. It is a linear polymer and transparent. It is a linear polymer and transparent, right? It is also resistant to alkalis and acids, right? And what are the uses of it? It is used in making hot drink cups. You must have seen, used in making hot drink cups, the bottle caps, even the toilet articles, the comb, the brush handles, okay, few toys and the household articles. These are some of the things which can be easily made up of polystyrene. Let us now come to the fourth type of addition polymer of polyhaloolefins, right? What was that? I told you Teflon, which is also called as PTFE. The full form of PTFE is polytetrafluoroethylene. Okay, polytetrafluoroethylene gives the name PTFE. And these polymers, they are halogen substituted alkenes. These are polymers of halogen substituted alkenes. Okay, so let us begin with the preparation of Teflon. It is polymerized by tetrafluoroethylene. So what is the formula of tetrafluoroethylene? NCF2 double bond CF2. This is your tetrafluoroethylene, which at high pressure in the presence of oxygen, it forms CF2 CF2N. Okay, this is called as Teflon. Now let us understand the properties of it. It is chemically inert, very good electrical insulator, and has extremely low coefficient of friction in it. Okay, and what are the uses of it? It is used in making non-stick kitchen utensils, and also in making electric irons. So this was all about Teflon. Next we come to PVC. What is the full form of PVC? Polyvinyl chloride. This is another kind of a polymer, right? How is this prepared? It is prepared by the polymerization of the vinyl chloride in the presence of peroxide, that is NCH2 double bond CHCl. This is your vinyl chloride. Okay, this under the presence of peroxide, it is polymerized, right, to give us CH2CH Cl. What is this? This is your PVC, polyvinyl chloride. Polyvinyl chloride. Okay. So let's talk about its properties. It is hard and horny thermoplastic polymer. Then what is the use of it? It is used in making raincoats, then your handbags also, then the electrical insulators are also made of this, etc. So I hope about PVC is also clear. It is made up of vinyl chloride, which under peroxide it is polymerized to give us PVC, that is polyvinyl chloride, which is hard and horny thermoplastic polymer. And where all is it used? It is used for making raincoats, the handbags, even electric insulators, etc. Right? Now let us talk about condensation polymer. So in condensation polymer you have to do only one, that is the polyesters. Okay. So polyesters, they have the ester linkages. What are those? Have ester linkages of they are called as polyesters. Ester linkage polyesters. Poly means number of ester linkages are termed as polyesters. Okay. So let us understand the preparation. It is prepared by the polymerization of ethylene glycol and terephthalic acid at what temperature? 475 Kelvin. So polyesters, they are prepared by what is this? This is called as ethylene glycol, which is also called as ethane 1,2-diol. Okay. And this is when treated with N times of your terephthalic acid. Now what is terephthalic acid? HOC double bond. This is a ester linkage, right? What is this? This is your terephthalic acid, also called as benzene 1,4-dioic acid. What does it give? As I told you, what does it give? At 475 Kelvin, okay, it is going to give you terylene or the polyester. So let's see what is the polyester. O CH2 CH2O C double bond O. Now you may see over here number of molecules. 2 molecules of water have been removed from here. See H from here and OH from here. So one water molecule from here, another water molecule from here, thus forming your terylene, which is also called as Dacron. Dacron is your polyester. So what are the properties of it? They form strong fibers, okay, and they are used for the manufacture of textiles. In the manufacturing of textiles. I hope this is clear that many ester linkages, they combine with the ethylene glycol to form your Dacron or terylene, which is your polyester. It is a strong fiber and it is used in the manufacture of textiles, right? Next we move to polyamides. Polyamides, okay. What is the peculiarity about polyamides? Over here the polymers which have the amide linkages, right, they are called as polyamides. Now what are amide linkages? It is C double bond O NH. These kind of linkages where we are going to find, we call them as polyamides. And in polyamides you have 2 polymers that you need to study over here. That is your nylon 66 and your nylon 6. These both are very important. Usually they are asked in your board exam. So let us do nylon 66. Nylon 66. So N H2N CH2 whole 6 NH2. I have given it to you in the previous classification also. So from there also you can learn hexamethylene. When it reacts with this HOC double bond O CH2 4 C double bond OOH, then it is going to give you at high pressure, okay, it will give out n number of 2 water molecules and it is going to form nylon 66. What is the formula for nylon 66? NH CH2 6 NH C double bond O CH2 4 C double bond O N. What is this? This is called as nylon 66, right? What are the properties of nylon 66? They are resistant to abrasion. They have high tensile strength. They are tough and possess elasticity. Clear? What are the uses of nylon 66? It is used in the manufacture of threads, okay, ropes, then bristles of brushes, etc. So this was all about nylon. How is nylon 66 formed? By treating hexamethyl diamine with the adipic acid. Adipic acid at high pressure, we get nylon 66. They are resistant to abrasion, high tensile strength, they are tough, and they possess elasticity. Then how were they used? They are used for the manufacture of threads, ropes, even for the bristles of the brushes. And the last one for today, let us do nylon 6. Nylon 6. This is prepared by the polymerization of caprolactam. What is caprolactam? Look at the figure. This is called as caprolactam, okay? On polymerization, what does it form? It forms C double bond O NH CH2 whole 5 N. This is called as nylon 6, right? And it is used for in the manufacture of tire cords, okay, even for the fabrics, and also for making of the ropes. Okay, we stop till here. Tomorrow I shall come back to you with more different types of polymers and their preparation and uses. Thank you.